Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Monday morning. I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's all right. I hope the week's going to treat you all well. Regardless of what you're up to today, I hope it treats you well. In this video, we are talking about an update on the Juventus PSG dealing of Kolo Muani. We're going to talk about Patrick Dorgu and a little bit of update surrounding some interest in him. We'll be talking about some weird reports surrounding Alfie Dorrington leaving this January. And I want to talk about a little bit about Carl Walker-Peters as well. So plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. Just want to say, if you're watching this, you know, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Also, to give you a bit of a heads up, later today, I will schedule it well ahead of schedule, but later today, I will be doing the North London Derby preview for the Wednesday game. So I'll probably be about 6 p.m. UK time, which is about 7 hours time. All right. Just give you a quick heads up, just in case. Stick it in your calendar. Stick it in your calendar. Morning, Sonia. Morning, Spurs. Adventurous Jacob. How are we all? Yeah, let's jump in and talk. So, look, we talked a little bit about Kolo Muani and David Ornstein. Yes, maybe Sasa, actually. They were saying that Kolo Muani is still Spurs' number one option when it comes to the attacker. That's who they want. That's who they're trying to get. The deal's not dead. Kolo Muani's not decided on who he wants to move to as such. And really, this week, I think, will be very telling. You know, I think when we talk about Okafor leaving AC Milan, that then puts them in the mode of, what do we do about Marcus Rashford? Can we get Marcus Rashford in? Obviously, I know they're looking at Kyle Walker as well. There's obviously an English revolution out in AC Milan. But they're looking obviously at that. That will speed up some deals, obviously knowing that Okafor's out of the way. Rashford speeding up that situation. What happens with Joshua Zirkzee and Juventus? Do they even still move on from Vlahovic? Is he going to be staying? A lot of dominoes, I think, this week will start to fall. Not going to say they will all fall. I'll just say this week, I think they'll start to fall. You know, for Spurs, I think we need a good week transfers-wise. Obviously, by the end of this week, we're looking at sort of into the 20s in terms of January, the dates. We're looking into the 20s. We need a big week. All right. So talking Kolo Muani, let's jump in and see. Hey, Big D, Ray, Inakoma, how are we all? So Nicola Shearer, who 3 days ago saying that Kolo Muani had sort of reached a verbal agreement with Juventus. He went on to say that expected a meeting this week between Juventus and PSG, to try and reach an agreement for Kolo Muani to Juventus on loan. In the deal, it could be included an option to buy. Kolo Muani has already a verbal agreement with Juventus as revealed last week. Now, the key thing in that is, in the deal, it could be included an option to buy. And I think a lot of us were sort of sitting there going, God, you know, I don't want to do an obligation to buy for Kolo Muani. I don't want to do this. And I said, I probably don't want to do an obligation, but an option to buy I would want personally, because if he was to do quite well, I don't want to have a situation where we're powerless in terms of can we get him in or not. Now, I also don't have an issue if they did a situation where they had an option to buy, but if certain parameters were hit, it would become an obligation. I don't think anyone would really mind that, because if he's hitting these things, it means he's done well. And if he's done well, then we should want to keep him. Juve obviously are spinning a lot of deals at the moment. They might move off players. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Douglas Luiz. You know, Fagioli's another name they might move off of. Danilo's another name they might move off of. There's a few little sort of spinning of plates that Juventus is doing right now. Kolo Muani coming in is potentially another plate they are spinning. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get a bit tired of this whole ordeal. This is why I love when Spurs go, deal agreed. Spurs are signing, insert name. Because it's just like, oh, great, brilliant. This deal's done then, pretty much, barring him holding up a shirt, you know. This one's dragged, and this is why I've not really enjoyed, at times, Pratici's dealings, because we know a little bit too much. And the issue is then, obviously, other teams know a little bit too much. You know, it's all out there to see how much Spurs are bidding, or it's all out there to see how much team is bidding. You know, you see from Fabrizio, and he tweets a million times about one deal, you know, because it's engagement for him. Obviously, it's a job and it gives him money. But for us and our club, it makes it a bit more painful. Yes, it's nice to know what's happening, but the issue is because you know, everyone else knows. And I think Kolo Muani could potentially be one of those deals. Do I think he will end up at Spurs? I'm gonna be bordering on the pessimistic, and I'll say I don't think he's joining Spurs. I just think it's too loud. And normally, if it's loud, it doesn't work for Spurs. Like in terms of Spurs don't sign that player. Now, there's obviously cases that Spurs do. I'm not saying there's not, but I'm just saying for the most part, Spurs haven't got these deals done. So I think he will go to Juventus. That is my guess. Um, we'll see on that, you know. We'll have creativity. Yeah, we did. Prefer we did a business undercover for sure. Should have left Werner at Tamworth. Juve won't have the money, simple as Man United has PSR issues. They need to sell first and then buy. Hence, Spurs are sitting pretty. Yeah, I would say we're sitting pretty in regards to our financial fair play. We could spend quite a bit and not have any issues. But that doesn't mean a deal gets done just because we're sitting pretty. That's the issue. You know, if Kolo Muani wants Juve and Juve are, I mean, Juve with a loan and an obligation to buy or an option to buy, really they can get that deal done. That's not too bad a thing. You know, they're trying to move off of other players. I know they still have what 2.5 weeks, so that's plenty of time to move off of those players. So I think I don't see it happening personally. Now, obviously, I'd love to be proved wrong, and you know, I may not be the biggest Kolo Muani fan, but if I'm honest, I'd be happy just to get someone through the door, you know. I saw some quotes from Thiago Motta, but I don't. Yeah, it's nothing to do with it's nothing to do with transfers, so that's all right. We won't care about that. Moving on, anyway. Let's talk. Let's talk some Carl Walker Peters flavored news. I'm gonna go Carl Walker Peters. I was gonna go Dorgu, but I'm going KWP. Who could we be looking at? Well, Jessica, I don't know who we're looking at for striker, unfortunately, because the Kolo Muani is the only name that we've been seriously linked to. But let's be real in that regard. If it's a deal that we do something quietly, hey, that's not a bad thing. You know, those are the deals that have worked out a bit better for us, you know. So we'll sort of see. Hey, DJ Custer, how I mate? I think it's 50 dog. We chase another, I reckon. P.S. Where's your squash, mate? I'm here with my Aussie squash mate called Mango Beer. I've not got one poured, but I've always got squash nearby, mate. Always got it nearby. Carl Peters, a left or right back, both, mate, both. Let's talk about him though, because he obviously is a situation. Give you a quick heads up. He's got a situation where he is coming into the last 6 months of his contract. So in the summer, he will be a free transfer. Now, Southampton are trying to get him signed a new deal, but if they can't, do they try and cash in on him, or do they hold out and think if we keep him, we sign maybe a couple of players, could we stay up? I mean, what's the Premier League situation at the moment? Let's have a quick look. Where are they? Okay, they're bottom. They're already 10 points adrift. Jesus, that's brutal. I mean, they're 8 points behind Leicester in 19th. Yeah, they would need. I mean, they got 18 games to get back in there. They would need a huge turnaround, and I don't see it happening. But regardless, let's move on. So Fabrizio Romano saying that Southampton are set to try one more attempt to sign Kyle Walker-Peters on a new deal. He's in the last 6 months of his contract. If Southampton cannot agree a deal or do not sell Kyle Walker-Peters before the end of January, it is very likely he will leave on a free. Now, obviously, the development behind Jed Spence playing very well puts into question, what do we do at fullback? It definitely does. It's probably put a little bit less pressure on us trying to sign a fullback because obviously he's been very good and you can feature Archie Gray in at that time as well. I totally get that, right? He's not a fullback and we shouldn't think like that, but I'm trying to think in the mindset of how the higher ups think, right? The interesting thing about Carl Walker-Peters is the academy trained situation. We have obviously academy players in the squad, you know, Mikey Moore, Lancashire, Dorrington, right? They're academy trained, but they're not classed as fully academy trained by UEFA yet. Carl Walker-Peters does. He does qualify. It's Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman, the only two that we have in the squad. Skip would have been another, and technically Winks would have been another, and obviously Harry Kane's another, but obviously those three have moved on. Carl Walker-Peters is one that does tick that box. So when it comes to playing in Europe, you can add him into the squad without dropping anyone. because we're already on, 23 or 24 man squad. He would count as another player, and you wouldn't have to kick anyone out because he's an academy trained player. He actually ticks a huge box. Now, I've watched, obviously, Southampton aren't the best team defensively. I get that. I've watched him play in a 5-back where he's a wing back on the left-hand side and right-hand side. I've seen him play in a 4-back where he's playing on both sides of the defense. He can invert from the left-back position quite well. Okay, he's more trained as a left-back than any of our right-backs are. And Archie Gray, who I still consider a midfielder. So he would, right. I mean, the irony to it right this second is he might be your starting left back at Spurs right now because Destiny's injured. Now, yes, Jed's played very well, and I'm not going to deny that Jed maybe could be ahead of him. I'm just saying, out and out, classically trained fullbacks, he has actually been playing left back quite a lot for Southampton. So he would tick a box. Obviously, I think it's, who's their right back? Is it Sugawara? I think Southampton's right back for quite a bit of the time. So sometimes that's why Carl Walker-Peters plays on the left-hand side. I mean, look, Spurs have an option to buy him back. Is it 30 million? Now, Southampton know they're not getting 30 million from him in January. It's not happening. When every team knows he's not signing a new deal. He's not. Unless you give him crazy money, and you're not going to do that if you drop into the Championship. The only way you do that is that you put in a clause into his contract that he can leave for less than 30 million next summer. Yeah. Oh, we're going to put in a clause in your contract that you can leave 15 million next summer. We'll give you a bit of a pay rise if you stay for the next six months. And just see, you never know, we might stay up. We might even let you go anyway next summer for a cheap deal if we stay up. But, I think Southampton is still in the FA Cup at the moment. I think they are. Hang on, quick look. Southampton. Yeah, they've got Burnley at home. There you go. So there's still stuff to play for. But I think this deal, okay, maybe isn't the fullback that we would want, right? I'm going to speak about Dorgu in a minute. It's the guy that I truly want, but he does tick boxes. This season, I just want to have a quick look. How many times has Carl Walker-Peters played this season? Is he an Iron Man? He's 27. He's 28 in April. He's played 19 times across the FA Cup and Premier League. And he's played just under 1,700 minutes. So he's a bit of an Iron Man, which, looking at our situation, we could do with a few Iron Men, to be honest. We could do with a few because we can't bloody stay fit. How tall is Carl Walker-Peters? Oh, good question. Let me quick Google it. Quick Google. How tall is in feet? Let's have a quick look. They reckon he's about 5'6.5", just under 5'7". God, even I'm taller than him. God, careful, lads. Even I'm taller than him. More than Andy, sure, Carl Walker-Peters is not good enough. Fair enough. Andy, you're the only level-headed person out there. Like your show, mate. Rock on. Appreciate it, Stephen. Appreciate that. But look, on Carl Walker-Peters, again, he's not my number one option, but if it was him or... I mean, hell, if it's him or nobody, I'm definitely taking him. I'm definitely taking him because Prem proven, academy trained player, homegrown, ticks a lot of boxes in that regard. What would it cost is what I'm interested in. Because if it is 30 million, then no. But if it was like, let's say 15 million, I'd take a punt on that. Absolutely. For the academy trained side of things, when it comes to Europe, oh, absolutely. 15 million. It's an extra player that you can take into Europe with you. Yeah, if it's an extra player you take to Europe with you without, sort of dropping anyone. Muani or Nabry. Well, Nabry's a former Arsenal player, so probably not him. Hey, Baz, how are you, mate? Arsenal play trash, agreed. You can only take him if he suits the system. You can't compromise the rebuild. Absolutely. He does suit the system, though, because he does play inverted fullback quite frequently. Good enough on the ball as well, being inverted. He's a right footer that plays at left back quite frequently, and he verts into the midfield. Knows the club as well. That's another thing. He's athletic enough as well to track back. So I don't hate the move. yes, maybe there's better players out there, but I don't hate the move for what it allows you to do squad roster wise as well. Anyway, let's talk a little bit quickly Dorrington, because I want to finish off spending a bit of time talking about Dorgu, because I saw reports that Dorrington is set to join Aberdeen on loan for the rest of the season, right? And nobody has come out and said anything like it's definitively happening. Like the club haven't said anything, no ITKs have said anything. So I don't know what's happening with Dorrington. I do think Dorrington goes out on loan, by the way. I really, really do. There was talk, obviously, we spoke about last week, I think it was. I think it was Alistair Gold saying expect him to go out on loan in January. Where that is, we don't know. I mean, if it was Aberdeen, if you don't know, are in Scotland. They are fourth at the moment in the SPL. They are 2 points behind third, which is Dundee United. So having a decent-ish season. Sorry. But I've not seen anyone like credible being like he's going to Aberdeen. I just saw some of like the bigger Spurs pages on Twitter going, he's going to Aberdeen. And I was like, where's this come from? And everyone's like, don't know. Okay. So we've not seen anything. I expect him still to move on. I expect him to go out on loan. We don't know where though. And I'm just basically waiting for someone to be like, he's going here, blank, you know. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Patrick Dorgu, because look, Dorgu, if you're not aware, and you're jumping on the stream, this is the first time you've come across me. Patrick Dorgu is the fullback that I truly, truly want for left back. I talked about him in the summer when people were talking about Loco, and I was like, no, give me Dorgu. And then Loco, obviously, I think sustained quite a big injury. So that kind of ruled Loco's interest sort of null and void for a little while at least. And Dorgu is someone that we've been linked to quite a lot actually recently, and also through the summer. I mean, Paul O'Keefe said that we've been linked to him. You know, so we've been linked to a lot of people. Aberdeen, well, fair enough. What did you miss, Mike? Yeah, got to get her on time, bud. Got to get her on time. Hey, Adiz, mate. If you're at college, mate, you need to focus. Don't be listening to me. I'm speaking absolute nonsense as per. But look, with Dorgu, he's a 20-year-old. He's capped for Denmark. He is a similar style player to Destiny Udogie. So in terms of style of play, what you want from your left back, the style is quite similar. So it fits a lot of reasons there and then, right? So caught offside talking about Patrick Dorgu and the situation there, saying that Man United remain interested in a potential transfer deal for Lecce left back Patrick Dorgu, but they have yet to make a move for the player. Sources close to the situation have said that Man United scouts have monitored Dorgu at recent games, but he has numerous other suitors. Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham have also been keeping a close eye on Dorgu, while other clubs are aware of the player include Manchester City, Juventus, AC Milan, Napoli, Atalanta, Bayer Leverkusen, and Leipzig. So, you know, pretty much any team with any credibility in Europe are looking at him. Yes, he plays left back. He has versatility because he's been playing further forward as well. And I think that's more down to the options that Lecce have in attack. And yes, they're maybe not as good as you would have in those clubs that he's actually linked to. You know, he wouldn't play right wing for Spurs. Yeah, he's not playing right wing for Man United. He's not playing right wing for Juventus. You know, he'd be playing left back or left wing back in those situations, you know. Talking about left back at the weekend, he had been playing right wing first half of the season. There you go. Ed's backed me there. Would Spurs pay 42 million for him? No. I don't think Lecce would get 42 million for Dorgu either. I think they'd get about 25, maybe 30. How have we not signed a centre back, left back yet? Is Daniel Levy blind or something? If I speak, I'm in trouble. But look, on Dorgu, look, he for me is probably I'll come back to something in a minute about Kolo Muani. He is still the number one option for me when it comes to defence, but you know, Lecce, they said that Lecce want him. They're happy for him to go, but he has to stay for another 6 months on a loan back situation. and then move to his new club in the summer, which I don't hate, but obviously it's the same part of me goes, well, why don't we just agree a deal that he comes in the summer? We'll pay you in the summer. But Lecce are probably going to want to cash in their money now, keep the player, and reinvest to get a better situation for themselves, which I totally get. But I really like the player. I do really, really like the player. But we also really more so need players now. That's my issue. So as much as I like him, and this is going to hurt me to say, I think we should look elsewhere because we severely need players now, regardless of the situation. We need players now. I mean, don't know. I don't know Football FC. I only just clocked your name. There'll be a bidding war, he reckons. Saw a report that apparently Real Madrid are looking at Archie Gray. No, they're not. They're not looking at Archie Gray. Obviously, they need to look at themselves in the mirror after losing last night to Barcelona. But the Real Madrid, look, with Romero, let's see. They're not getting Van der Ven. The one they have a chance with is Romero. The issue is with Romero, he has 2 years left on his deal in the summer. 2 years, right? So I don't think Spurs need to panic as such right this second in terms of moving him on. But you've got to be aware of it. You've got to be aware of it. You know what I mean? Any news about the 18-year-old striker we offered 1 mil? Oh, is that? Oh, it was. What was his name again? I think because of an M. I didn't take much notice of it right this second. I like Dorgu. He's got an engine on him, that's for sure. Yeah, I like him as well, Finn. I like him as well. Do you see the clip where Tamworth player was called Ange? The fans were brilliant. The fans were brilliant in terms of, and he was brilliant with the fans, Ange as well. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go and check out the fans' interaction with Ange. Whilst the game was going on, it was brilliant. What about the left back from Fiorentina? Who's that? Even Vito, how are you, mate? Mbappe. He might have got on the bench behind Dominic Solanke. Morning, Kulus are elusive. Right foot. How you been, bud? It's been a little while. Hope Frankfurt did not watch yesterday's match. Why is that? Why is that? Anyway, let's talk a little bit about just to finish up, with Kolo Muani, because I've just seen some more news. Graham Bailey says that Juventus believe they're now Randall Kolo Muani's first choice ahead of Tottenham following talks with the forwards representatives over the weekend. Obviously, look, they might be having talks this week as well. I just think let's just wait and see on this side of things. Oh, here we go. No, Alfie Dorrington flavor news. Really quickly first. Alistair Gold has confirmed Alfie Dorrington is heading to Aberdeen on loan. It'll be there for the next 6 months. He'll be back in the summer. There's no option to buy, obligation to buy. So Alfie Dorrington is joining Aberdeen. It is confirmed. I said about 10 minutes ago, no one's credible said it. Let's just wait until someone says. Alistair Gold said it. That's someone pretty credible. He is moving on loan. Obviously, it's been tough with the fact that he had those injuries, quite big injuries, and I get not risking him. Look, if he's going to get 6 months of regular football at Aberdeen, brilliant. That's a perfect move. That's a great move. It's when people talk about Ashley Phillips, should we bring him back off of loan? No, we shouldn't. Keep him there. Keep him on loan because Stoke are through into the next round of the FA Cup. I'm pretty sure. Stoke City fixtures. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, they've got Cardiff City at home. Stoke could be in the 5th round. Stoke could go further than us if we go out, So look, I think keeping him there, I am all for. With Dorrington, look, I'm really, really happy about Dorrington's move. It's the right move, and I expect him probably to go on loan next year as well. If I'm honest speaking, right this second. But when we do our loan roundup every Tuesday, which it'll be back tomorrow, the loan roundup is back tomorrow. I'll be able to start talking about the SPL, which I look forward to talking about. I talk about the La Liga, I talk about League 2, League 1, Championship, the Belgian League. I get to talk about the SPL now. My loan roundups are so busy at the moment. It's ridiculous. I hope someone is interested in Werner. Well, we'll have to see. Oh, Frankfurt. You meant Frankfurt and Werner. Sorry, I'm with you now. Coyote from Fiorentina. Mittelstadt from Stuttgart. Hope he gets game time at Aberdeen. Well, let's do a quick poll because I want to get everyone's view on this. Dorrington to Aberdeen. Happy, unhappy. Let's see what you all think because I'm happy about it personally. I want to see what you guys think whilst I read some of your other comments. Annie, look at the West Brom striker. Do you mean Josh Madger? Kate, do you mean Josh Madger? I think that's how you say his name. I might be saying it wrong, but I think that's who you're talking about. Surely have to sign a centre back now. I think we will be signing a defender. Lancashire didn't start because he got an injury. He was shot during the Squid Game video. Crazy thought, but I think we need a winger or two before a defender. I don't think we'll get two, but we definitely still get. We'll still get a defender. We will. I do think so. There's a spot on your right hand. It's not a spot. It's a scab. You can't really see it. But yeah, I fell over. It was icy, and I fell over trying to walk my dog, and hit my hand on the floor. So there you go. I blame him. I blame my dog. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. Look, with Dorrington though, happy days. I think looking at the poll, I think everyone's quite unhappy. I think it definitely will improve the situation. I think also none of us have really seen Dorrington play actual football. We see the under-21s and all that stuff, but Dorrington at the SPL is a good level for him, I think, to start off with. Aberdeen are a decent side in the SPL as well. He's not playing for a team towards the bottom. He's playing for a team that's trying to fight for European football. So I think it's a good move. I'll be keeping an eye on Aberdeen. I mean, it's really cool at the moment. Obviously, Westerlo. Obviously, you've got Stoke and now Aberdeen for the three centre-backs. It's always interesting to see how they've been getting on. Obviously, we're going to have to talk about Vuskovic and his antics in tomorrow's loan roundup, but we'll do that tomorrow. I won't be doing it now. Hey, Polly, hope everything's all right. Live from the hospital. I hope everything's okay. Annie, yes, you're right with the name. I saw that we were talking about links with Josh Madger, but I didn't see one too massively credible. You know what I mean? Got to watch the Charles Barkley on how to fall properly. I do. Oh, Charles. Listen here, Ernie. We hurt yourself after watching yesterday's match. It was before the match, luckily. It was before the match. How do you think Delap would cost? Delap would cost about 50 odd million. Good player, I like him, but just crazy money. Crazy money. I'll talk to everyone, Donna. Just came across this page and subbed. Anything more Spurs can't be a bad thing. Appreciate it, Paddy. Welcome, Paddy. Absolute legends. Welcome and enjoy the journey, as we always say. Dorrington to Aberdeen isn't a good move. Championship move is better for experience. In regards to buying a defender, I don't think Cole is the answer. I'd go for Ben Chilwell for 10 minutes. Right. Well, fair enough on the Aberdeen side of things. Obviously, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think we can all agree a low move's a great move. Is Aberdeen the right move? Only time will tell. I'd rather play with 10 men than Ben Chilwell. It gets injured too much anyway. Actually, no. Tell you what, this will be the prime example. I'd rather Sergio Reguilon than Ben Chilwell, and I don't want Sergio Reguilon. Chilwell going forward's decent. Cannot defend, injury prone, and he's on like 200 grand a week. At least Reguilon tracks back and gets stuck in, and at least stays somewhat fit. Regardless, I'd rather Cole Walker-Peters over Reguilon and Chilwell. Also, Ben Chilwell enjoys DMing OnlyFans girls at 3 a.m. If you know. I'd love Vlahovic on loan option if it means we don't get Kolo Muani. I don't think we'll get Vlahovic. I don't get Vlahovic either. SPL perfect fit for Dorrington. It's like playing in the Championship with a couple of Premier League sides thrown in for more of a challenge. Well, look, let's you know what? Let's have a quick look at Aberdeen's fixtures. Got breaking news when we go live. Right. They actually play Rangers on Wednesday. They play away at Rangers at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And then they've got Elgin City in the Scottish Cup 4th round away on Saturday. So my guess would be he will be in the squad, I assume, for Rangers, because I think he'll be registered in time. I don't think he'll start. But, Elgin City, Saturday, he could start there. And then they've got St Mirren the following Saturday at home. And then I think the one after that, they play away at Hibernian. So I tell you what, so many people in Australia listen to me listing Scottish club names, and they're all like, "Who the hell is that?" But look, well, let's be positive. Let's hope he gets regular game time. I would assume they've Aberdeen has said to Spurs he's going to get regular game time. He's going to start most weeks. Otherwise, there's no point in going there. So I don't think he will. I don't. He'll start against Rangers on Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't think he will though. But Elgin City at the weekend, I think would probably be the play. Justice for Werner. Tamworth is a big club of Werner. He played that position. Jesus Christ. SPL probably lower championship level because Celtic would only be mid-table or lower in the Premier League, and they clean up. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think Celtic are like 10 points clear already in the league, so they should be. They should clear up this year. Werner, can we all agree? He's not down on confidence. He's not. He's actually shy. Not being able to complete a single pass has nothing to do with being down on confidence. Did he not complete a single pass at the weekend? Think he must complete at least one. But look, regardless, good news and happy for Alfie. Let's see how that loan move does. I think in the long run it will benefit us. When it comes to Kolo Muani and there's reports that Juve fancy their chances now on this. If that is the case, and we take things on the face of things, we take it with a pinch of salt quite awfully, most of the time. But let's take it with a pinch of salt. But if we also take it on face value, who would be next? We'll have to wait and see on that side of things. I still think Spurs will be looking at defenders. I know a lot of you are worried. Are Spurs going to be looking at a left back / left centre back role? I still think they will be. Obviously, I've talked about Goncalo Inacio over the last few days. We've talked about David Hanko on the channel. I mean, we talked about Tomori as well. He played at the weekend for AC Milan. I didn't think he was that good, to be honest, but he played for AC Milan at the weekend. Carl Walker-Peters we've talked about. I don't know who else we've talked about. We've talked to other people. Ko Itakura, that's another one. He's definitely on the list, but not as high up. So interested to see who's higher up on that side of things. So I think we still look at there. We'll see about midfielder. Obviously, we're linked to a few like Fratesi and obviously Cardoso. We'll see about that side of things. I still think Spurs are going to be very, very active. I mean, right now, Spurs have about 18 days left, 19 days left of the window, whatever it might be. Spurs have still got plenty of time, but I definitely think looking at it, we definitely need to be bringing at least a couple in there, Spurs right for the right strike, absolutely. Aberdeen is where Madison went on loan. Brilliant for developing players. Celtic are 15 clear. There you go, 15 clear. Yeah, I think. Look, I think if he's going to play week in, week out football, I'd rather that than him playing under 21s for us, I can't believe Lang is let this Muani rumor went public. Do you know what? With I don't think Lang controlled that. I think that was leaked by the other side of PSG or another team that are linked with him. Spurs never let it out there that we're linked with players. That one's come from somewhere else. Okay, I'll keep an eye on him for Innerhype. Innerhype's got some info on Aberdeen. I like it. And that's getting a left back and winger. I like that Tamworth winger he's cheaper than Muani. Your thoughts if it turns out for a variety of reasons we do not. If we sign no more in January, then it's a travesty. It's a travesty, but we will sign people. I've got faith. I said that we would sign 2 players, and I thought we'd sign a keeper in the summer. We've obviously brought the keeper forward 6 months, which, by the way, looks a player and a half. He played Tamworth. I won't really take too much from that game. Looked decent enough through the long throw-ins, but against Liverpool, looked really, really good. He's obviously going to be busy Wednesday night, which, again, like I said in the start of the video, 6 p.m. UK time is the Arsenal preview. Make sure you keep your notifications on for when I go live because we'll be doing that. But I think Spurs will still sign 2 players. Now, if Spurs wind up with a keeper and an attacker, that would worry me because I think we need at least another defender. If it wound up that we got a keeper, an attacker, and a defender, I don't think that would be a bad window. I don't. But we shall see. But anyway, I'm going to go off. I need to go and walk a dog who made me fall over yesterday. Will probably make me fall over again today, but we shall see. I will be back in about 6.5 hours' time to talk a little bit more about Spurs. And if anything breaks in the day, I will go live. Take care, everyone. I'll see you all very soon. Peace.